appearing before the Senate Banking Committee hearing Thursday, Senator Elizabeth Warren grilled officials from the Treasury Department over why criminal charges were not filed against officials at HSBC who helped launder hundreds of millions of dollars for drug cartels. The HSBC scandal resulted in the Department of Justice and Treasury announcing a record $1.92 billion fine after finding that the international bank repeatedly helped the world's most violent drug gangs move at least $881 million in ill-gotten gains through numerous countries the U.S. has economic sanctions against. Let's listen to what Elizabeth Warren had to say really quick.
The United States government takes money laundering very seriously for a very good reason. And it puts very strong penalties in place. In addition to monetary penalties, it's possible to shut down a bank that's been involved in money laundering. Individuals can be banned from ever participating in financial services again, and people can be sent to prison. Now, in December, HSBC admitted to money laundering, to laundering $881 million that we know of for Mexican and Colombian drug cartels, and also admitted to violating our sanctions for Iran, Libya, Cuba, Burma, the Sudan. And they didn't do it just one time. It wasn't like a mistake. They did it over and over and over again across a period of years. And they were caught doing it, warned not to do it, and kept right on doing it, and evidently making profits doing it. Now, HSBC paid a fine, but no one individual went to trial, no individual was banned from banking, and there was no hearing to consider shutting down HSBC's activities here in the United States. So what I'd like is, you're the experts on money laundering. I'd like your opinion. What does it take? How many billions of dollars do you have to launder for drug lords, and how many economic sanctions do you have to violate before someone will consider shutting down a financial institution like this?
So David S. Cohen, Treasury Under Secretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, did not answer Warren's question. He did say, for our part, we imposed on HSBC the largest penalties that we've ever imposed on any financial institution ever. Warren reiterated her question and still got nowhere. Finally, she turned to the Federal Reserve Board member, Jerome H. Powell, who said that we don't do criminal investigations. Warren continued on here with, if you're caught with an ounce of cocaine, the chances are good you're going to jail. If it happens repeatedly, you may go to jail for the rest of your life. But evidently, if you launder nearly $1 billion for drug cartels and violate our international sanctions, your company pays a fine and you go home and sleep in your own bed at night. Every individual associated with this, I think it's fundamentally wrong. Now, I bring this up not because it's important to bring up and because I love Elizabeth Warren, but everyone...
He really loves Elizabeth Warren.
She's great.
I just got to say, Matt loves Elizabeth Warren.
Okay.
Strongly.
No, but I bring this up when I say talking about Rand Paul, because one of the things I saw yesterday was a lot of, where were the progressive Democrats standing with Rand Paul on this? Cenk said specifically on the Young Turks, where were people like Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren? Now, yes, I agree completely, but at the same time, why isn't someone like Rand Paul standing up on prosecuting these bankers who are doing something illegally, like help out drug cartels, who help finance terrorism, that goes...
Who's standing with Elizabeth?
Yeah, who's standing with Elizabeth? Who is standing up against these bankers with Elizabeth? Why isn't Rand Paul... Let's put aside Rand Paul's, libertarian ideals where he believes less regulation would help with these, would help the...
It would make laundering money potentially even easier.
It would make... No, for real,
Which would be good for the market.
But let's put aside this for a second. Why doesn't Rand Paul stand up against these bankers who are doing things illegally that funds terrorism that hurts this country? Well, it's the same reason why Rand Paul wants to help tax dodgers. Like when he, in January, blocked treaties with Luxembourg, Hungary, and Switzerland, popular tax havens that would help the U.S. government track down corporations and wealthy tax cheats who stash cash in their banks. And that's because, as Dicting Info's Rika Christensen found out with checking OpenSecrets.org, Mr. Paul raised nearly 3 times the average war chest for senatorial candidates, with nearly $10 million over the past 5 years. The majority of that came from the top 5 contributors, which were financial companies and the Koch brothers. In fact, only 2 of the top 10 contributors were not concerned with finances, capital, union busting, and banking.
Yep.
Who's standing with Elizabeth Warren? That's my question.
Well, not only is Rand Paul not standing with her, he's standing actively against her.